Hi, Kim Wilson back with our last card for the July class. And this is a layout that we learned at a recent demonstrator virtual event. So lots of fun things that demonstrators get to do that nobody else gets to do. And I just changed out the whole card, and we used a totally different stamp set that won't be available until September. But I thought this would look really good with that beautiful balloons stamp set and bundle. And I thought using the vellum colored balloons and stars would work perfectly as well. And I also like this card because it's white on white on white, which is I'm not used to doing. So I thought it was really unusual and fun to try. So I've got my white card base. So we'll start with that. And then, oh, there's my bone folder. And then I already dry embossed the next piece, and I used the Stripes and Splatters, which is a fun little duo of embossing folders that will fit in the mini machine. But I used the stripes in the one we used at the event. We used the splatters, and either one will work perfectly with this. And I'm going to flip it over, and if I can find my dimensionals, we'll put a few on the back and get that onto the card. So I'm using my mini dimensionals today, so I should have had the big ones out too, but the mini ones work well, and I guess I will have more to work with because there's more on a sheet. All right, so, and I'm just centering that. And you can see it kind of gives it a little dimension there, with even though it's white on white, by having the dimensionals and by having the dry embossing there. So my stamping is going to be on a deckled rectangle piece. So if you have a kit, you'll have one there. And I do have a few kits left. So let me know if you're interested ever in purchasing one of my class kits. All right, now I need the stamp right in front of me. I think it's time for a celebration, so perfect for really any sort of celebration. I'm going to probably do happy birthday on the inside, but this would work for any sort of celebration. So, and again, we're going to use the dimensionals because that with the white on white, that just gives it a little bit of a pop. So get those little guys on there. And lastly, I'll show you the actual technique that I wanted to show you today. And it's using vellum, and I always love vellum, and I forget to use it, and it's always so pretty. Okay, so the cards are all put together except for the vellum pieces. And I've got mine here already ready to go, but I'll show you how to make the vellum pieces. So we are going to grab a little strip of vellum here and our Stampin' Right markers, and you can use any color, but I've got dark lemon lolly, light berry burst, and light blueberry bushel because they're kind of darker colors to begin with. And we're just going to use the brush marker and just scribble a patch and then die cut it. So always when you're using the brush tip, hold it sideways like a brush so you don't damage the tip. That's probably enough for the star. And then the small balloon is berry burst. So we just need a little bit of that color. And it won't take long to dry because these are alcohol markers, but it will take a little bit of time. So don't rush over to the die cut machine. Make sure it's dry first. I have a little bit of blueberry bushel on my balloon die. Not that it's going to hurt anything, but I was a little too quick one time when I was die cutting. And the darker colors will look a little blotchy, but I think that looks kind of cool. It makes the balloon look a little bit more realistic so that when you cut it out, it'll have some variation in color. So you can see this one especially was quite bright there. So we've got my pieces here, And this time for adhering them, I'm going to use mini glue dots. I think they are a little better at hiding. You have to be really careful with vellum because adhesives tend to show through. So I know I had mini glue dots here someplace. Yes. So let's give it a try here. And see if we can get this vellum attached. And I'm just going to put one dot on each piece. They're very light. Actually, probably the easiest way is to just touch it right to the piece and then pick it up. And because of the dry embossing here, that hides it a little bit. So I'm going to put it right on top of that stripe. I think that hides it pretty well. And then this one I think I'm going to put in the lower corner because that'll be a little bit hidden by the other balloon. So stick that there. And then my red balloon, or berry burst, will go last. So this technique we did with florals. We had flower petals and it looked really cool with that, but here I used balloons and stars, so really you can use that with any die cuts and it'll add a really cute element to the card, just a different kind of look. This one I really like because I left a little bit of white space on that balloon, so that looks really cool. So there's the two cards. They look a little bit different, but both really cool with the white on white on white and the technique with the coloring on the vellum. So give it a try. If you have some alcohol markers, these are Stampin' Up, Stampin' Right markers. Our vellum cardstock is really the best because it's very nice and thick, so it's really easy to work with, easy to die cut and color. So give those a try. Have fun with the layout too, and give it a try. Post a picture or let us see how you do. Hope you enjoyed the cards this month. I had really fun when I made them and enjoyed sharing them with you. So happy crafting, everybody.